Testing, testing, 1, 2. This is James from the I'm Free Project, and we are back on track for the month of March 2017. So let's get right into it. That was cheesy. All right, so we are going to get started here, and I have a brand new video for you. And this brand new video is that, well, I'm back on track and we are getting ready to start and kick off a new season of the I'm Free Project. And with this meaning that we are going to now delve into things that really help people to overcome SSA and dealing with this whole transanity that's going on, this transgender stuff that's going on. So what we're actually going to do is have weekly videos, and I may have some input during the week, but mainly on Mondays. That's when I'm going to have some brand new videos for you week by week, and really breaking down what's going on in the news as it relates to Christianity and the culture, or as it relates to same-sex attractions, homosexuality, and the entire gay agenda. So now what I want to start off doing though is also welcome you into my world, I guess you can say. So as you know, I have kids, I have a wife, and I've been married for going on 6 years now. And along with that, my wife already had a child. And when I came into the picture, he was 11 years old. And when I met my wife and we discussed that, and it was no big deal with me, but I knew that because of my testimony, I needed to be a little bit open with regards to what I've done, what I've been, but we wanted to wait till an appropriate time. So we didn't want to rush anything. And again, I'm looking at two cameras, so if you see me looking up that way, it doesn't mean anything. I'm not ignoring anybody. So anyway, so we wanted to wait until the appropriate time as he got older to understand what SSA meant, or same-sex attractions and homosexuality and all of that. Although I do know that the schools are moving very fast and teaching kids about these things as it relates to homosexuality. However, in our household, I wanted to wait until there's a better time to actually talk about that issue. So anyway, so I wanted to let you guys in on this situation where, I wanted to get his side of the story, because it was a story and it was a process to actually have that conversation with him. And I don't want to go into it because I want you to watch the video. I want you to see what we talked about and to give you his pure reaction on knowing that his stepfather / his father was a former homosexual, dealt with same-sex attractions, and how that may make him feel and finding that out when he came to understanding the enlightenment or understanding of sexuality. So anyway, check the video out, leave your comments below, and like I said, we're going to start with some new stuff in 2017 in the month of March. So every Monday, look for a new video from me. I want to start dealing with parents. I want to start dealing with people who are dealing with same-sex attractions. I get a lot of emails from people who talk about the how, what, when, and why. And so I'm actually also going to have a contest where I'm going to give away some books, because I have a lot of resources that I know that helped me when I was dealing with SSA, and I believe that these will be a blessing to someone else as well. So I want to be able to give those away to someone, because right now, believe it or not, if you go to some websites, it's very hard to find these books nowadays. As you know, with the proliferation of homosexuality within the culture and within the psychological and medical community, it has been normalized. So therefore, books that talk about reparative therapy or anything that deals with people coming out of homosexuality have actually been taken off the shelves and out of the bookstores. But I have them. I bought mine years ago, and they were things that helped me as I was going along my path. So I have them. I have some. They're boxed up. They're a little dirty. They're a little dusty. They have markings in them. But I'm telling you, I think you will be blessed if you were to read these books. And I want to have a contest. And so I think I'm going to break it down to one for the parent and then one for the person who's actually dealing with SSA. Because I have books that relate to parents dealing with a child that's struggling with same-sex attractions, and then I have books that are dealing strictly with people who are in that lifestyle, who have been in that lifestyle, and they desire to get out. So anyway, all right, without further ado, here we go. This is me and my son just having a conversation, and I want you to walk into this with us and see my family dynamics of how a male father who has come out of homosexuality and how he deals with that with his son. All right, check it out. Leave your comments below. Subscribe, like, and share. All right, peace. Now, okay, so now we're really recording. So, see, I can't even start the video. Stupid. Okay, so anyway, all right, so here's what I wanted to do. All right, so let me give my introduction. Hey everybody, this is James from the I'm Free Project. Thank you, welcome to 2017. This is one of my first videos that I wanted to start with because I wanted to reintroduce the I'm Free Project with doing some different stuff, and I wanted to open up my life just a little bit more so you can see more of the stuff that I do. So with that in mind, I would like to introduce you to this guy that I've been seeing for about 6 years now.
Again, let me reiterate, you're married. Phrase that a little better.
Meaning that he's been in my life. We've been in each other's lives since 2010. So that makes it almost 7 years now. Yeah, 7 years in September. No, excuse me. Not September, in April. No, I don't think your mom introduced me to you until May. Anyway, yes, so this is my son, Jonathan.
Hi.
Yes, so we look nothing alike. Biologically stepson, but this is my child as well. Though anyway. So, anyway, but what I wanted to do is bring a family dynamic into this, because what I thought was very important was, and I'll give you the background as to why I'm doing this, because a lot of times I receive a lot of emails from parents, parents who have children. As you can see, he's a little nervous. That's why he's up there clearing his throat.
I have something in my throat.
But anyway, so this is, yeah, you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Junior on Blackish. He is the nerdy light-skinned black guy.
I am.
He likes video games and all that other stuff.
Comic
that I'd be
books,
like, what are you
like
talking
that.
about?
Converse.
That I have no idea, because I'm not into it. But anyway, so, no, but the deal is, I wanted to have I wanted to get a little bit more intimate in terms of dealing with parents. I've received emails from parents, and I've dealt with parents over the years who have children who have struggled with same-sex attractions. So, and I've received emails, and he didn't know what this video was gonna be about.
I have a girlfriend at the moment.
This is not about you. This is not about you. This video is not about
what?
you.
Okay.
The video
just checking.
The video is not about you. The video is the element of family. That's the whole point.
I know where this is going.
The whole point is talking about family and the family dynamics and people who are dealing with that as a family unit. So in dealing with parents, I wanted to flip that on its head in a sense, in that, just to give a little background, when I first met his mother, we were dating, and of course she told me she had a child and so forth. And like any decent woman, she did not introduce me to her child initially. She allowed some time to pass before, and made sure the relationship was serious before she introduced me to Jonathan. And so with that in mind, as you all know, according to my testimony, I had given her my history and my background a while before. So therefore, when we were married, because John was, I think, what, you were 11, 12 or something? You had just turned 12 or something?
I just turned 12 at the time.
He was going on 12. Yeah, you were going on 12. He's 18 now.
Yeah.
So he was going on 12, and we figured that was just a little bit too early to, talk to him about, things that I do, because I am very vocal about my testimony that God has done. So we didn't feel there was the right time to talk about that at the moment. So, but as he got older, and began to understand it. And of course, you're in school, so they're going to have little conversations about procreation and the reproductive system and all that kind of stuff. And so I wanted to make sure that he got a balanced understanding from a biblical perspective of sex and sexuality and all those things. So, and I've always been frank and honest about in terms of, you know, what sex is, because hey, it's there, and he's these millennial kids, you know, they're gonna find out one way or another just by watching a cartoon. So anyway,
Disney, we're coming for you.
That's
Next
right.
video.
How about that? So anyway, so yeah, so I think it was maybe 14 or 15 maybe. We probably said something to him about me coming out of the homosexual lifestyle and all of those things. So in telling him that, you know, so I was a little nervous. Well, I didn't want to upset him. That was the thing. I didn't want to, you know, him to be confused about anything. So be like, well, why are you with my mother? Because, you know, kids nowadays, they don't see people who God has dramatically changed in that regard, because they are raised in these days that this is the way you were born, this is the way you were made, God created you that way, and we know that's not true. That's a big lie. We know that is a lie falsehood by the devil himself. And so in understanding that, I didn't want him to be confused or see one of my videos accidentally on his cell phone on YouTube or something like that, and then have questions later, and then be like, well, why didn't you tell me, so forth and so forth. So I thought it was necessary to be honest about it and say, okay, well, he's at an age of understanding now, so let's talk about this. So with that in mind, I want to give you a brief interview. All right, so we are going to welcome to the stage here Jonathan. Jonathan, hi, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you,
All right,
James?
Great.
That never happens, by the way. I just took advantage of a moment by calling my real father by his first name.
So
I'm finna get him beat.
no, we're good.
Let's go.
So, but anyway, oh my God, that was guns.
Stop.
So anyway, so I was so I wanted to ask you, and I want to be as honest as possible.
Of course.
And you may not remember, I don't know, but even as being an 18 now, and maybe you're better able to process it, all of that. How does that make you feel as a young man to know that? I mean, just to be just keeping it 100. Your father has been with men, you know, before, and now he's with your mother. You know, and he, you know, claims to, you know, as a Christian. How does that? What do you think about that? Let me just shorten the question. What do you think about that?
Well, honestly, it doesn't really bother me as much, because as you've been healed from that, so that's completely over. You've passed that season in your life. You realized you were wrong, and you've moved on. You met my mother. You made something better. In fact, you have 2 more sons, and you've created a family. So that's way better than what I thought it would be. So,
were you in any way confused? Like, did you ever think that, okay, well, that's not possible, or, you know, how could that be?
I wasn't necessarily confused per se. I didn't know what to think at the time. I kind of just dismissed it, because I'm like, okay, well, he was, keyword was, so that's over. But then a couple days later, maybe a week, I started to think on it more, and a couple of questions came to mind. I was just like, is he being for real? Why did he choose my mother? How long ago was this? Stuff like that.
Okay, well, those were the honest, you know, answers and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so I think that in doing that and having those frank conversations allowed us to break down any, you know, fear of it or misunderstanding. So that was my whole point about it, and being honest and understanding that. I think even for me, you know, I wanted to get my own, I guess, my own understanding of, you know, because he may think that, you know, that I've lived that lifestyle before, that he can buck up on me or something like that. He can try to punk me, but that ain't happening.
Nah, you see this?
Right.
It's not happening.
Like, no. I'm just saying.
It's not happening.
So don't. So I in my mind, I would think, well, don't think that that simply because I did this that makes me weak in any way, because that's not the case. So I will be respected and I will be honored as the head of the house. So I think that was one of my concerns in trying to navigate this and wanting to make sure that everything was in order. So I think I've been rather lucky. I don't think, it hasn't been something where it's like, oh my gosh, this a surprise or anything like that. It was more so because I think maybe because he was raised in a Christian home, and to understand that God is able to transform people, then quite possibly that is the reason as to why, this really flows natural. The way this banter that I have going here. I'm gonna have to do this again. We have to do this again.
Of course.
But anyway, as you can see, he got his hair braided, which I don't know if I'm feeling it, but it's okay. It's okay.
I'll tell you why.
I'd rather him do this. I'd rather him do this than be wearing earrings or something like that.
Yeah. No piercings and nothing. No tattoos either.
Well, like I told myself, he can have tattoos, but you have to have tattoos outside of my house.
Exactly. That's a good rule. That's a respectable rule too.
I'm not saying, I've never said tattoo's gonna send you to hell, because I don't think that it will. I've just never been a big fan of tattoos on believers. But
you got your ears pierced.
That was a long time ago, and that was way before I knew Jesus Christ. So, but even still, I think for me, I stopped wearing earrings for the mere fact that, coming out of that lifestyle, then people see that you're wearing earrings and stuff like that. It's almost like this thing where, you wear earrings and you used to be in that lifestyle, and people try to put stuff, it's a matter of cleaning up. I guess you can say purging and cleaning yourself up. It doesn't make a difference, really. It's no big deal. But for me, God told me to clean up, some of the things. And that was one of just wearing earrings. So it's really no big deal though. It's not a salvation breaker, put it like that. So anyway, so when you think of, I know that was just left. I don't know where I was coming from with all that kind of stuff. That was just left. So anyway, so now being in high school, what did you note or notice about the atmosphere when it comes to gay and lesbian teenagers in school?
Well, actually, over the course of me entering high school from freshman year all the way up to senior year, it has become a lot more common. Mm-hmm. I see it a lot more, particularly with females. I don't know why, but
because it's easier for women to say, "Oh, let's go to the bathroom, girl," all that kind of stuff. Why they do that? That's just nasty. Why the girl?
You know what? I'm pretty sure we'll get a comment about it.
I don't know, but you don't see dudes talking about, let's go to the bathroom.
I mean, they all rally. Like, they just...
they rally in the bathroom.
Like how guys rally on a football team? That's it.
Women rally...
They go to the restroom.
Right. That's weird. You're having a conversation. Anyway, go ahead.
But, I see it a lot more, and it's not necessarily bothering me, because I usually just try to get to my destination, which is the classroom, as fast as possible.
I mean, why would you be bothered? I guess that's the question. I guess that part of why would you be bothered? Like, I mean, it's easier for guys to stomach two women, but when guys see, two guys holding hands or something like that, because now it's becoming more common now. I see teenagers, holding hands in the streets, or now they have these kids on these ABC shows on Modern Family and stuff like that, having them kissing and all that kind of foolishness. So, have you seen that in school?
Seen that? Absolutely, yeah. There's nothing stopping them in school. School doesn't dictate relationships, so they're just like, have at it.
They pretty much encourage that kind of stuff nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
It's really, strange to me, because over the course of time, it's getting to a point where I go everywhere and I see it. Mm-hmm. As you know, I watch The Walking Dead, and the one thing I wouldn't expect... Why
watches that show? I don't know. I don't like it.
It's so awesome. Rest in peace, Glenn.
Okay, see that just...
But it's on there even.
Okay.
2 couples on there.
What, they have a lesbian or gay couple?
They actually had both at one time, but the lesbian couple, one of them died, so that's over. But the two men are still there.
You see what I'm saying? You see how they use popular culture, a very popular show, to push an agenda. And I think that's the thing that bothers me, is that your impressionable mind at 18 years old, you've been watching, The Walking Dead. I hate the show, but yeah. But so many people are attracted to this show, and you always hear people talking about it. I mean, even at my job, and it's like, really, y'all watch that show? But a lot of young people watch that show, and then they put this dynamic of relationships onto it to normalize it into their impressionable minds. And thank God that because of that house that we live in, he understands that regardless what it is and how the world may glamorize it, that it is sin. The world is going to do what they're going to do. They're going to show what they want to show and make it look like it's glamorous and all that kind of stuff. But I remember what I said about the guys at your old job. I'm not
going to mention their names, and I'm not going to say what you said. It is really funny though.
But they the one who brought it up.
They did bring it up.
So
all of them brought it up. I was the only straight employee on break. Like there was something wrong with that situation. I didn't know what to do. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, it was like 4 gay people in the room, and I'm just sitting there straight as a stick. No, that's not a good analogy because they're like sticks everywhere and they're all twisted up and stuff.
Yeah, they got some curves in them.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Whatever.
Maybe like a broomstick. Let's say broomstick.
A broomstick, yeah, there we go. Well, it's just weird conversation going on. I'm just trying to eat my sandwich in peace and they're just over there talking about other things. So yeah, that was disturbing.
And that one thing I've always taught him to do is this right here. No matter what, because of the world that we live in, you're going to run into people who are open and out with that lifestyle, and they may be your age or a little older, whatever, and you're gonna work around people like that. You always show respect and love of Christ to everybody. I don't care how they express themselves in the manner that is not anything that is violating other people's rights or physically violating somebody, but you show the love of Christ to everybody. Even if you don't agree with their lifestyle, you still show the love of God, because at the end of the day, God's going to judge you based on how much love that you show to other people. So,
and it's also still important to show them love anyway, regardless.
Yeah, because they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Exactly. But 2016 was the year that if you said something, it automatically offended anybody.
It still is. Everybody's always offended. Every time you turn around, somebody's offended. You hurt me. You can't say that. Da. Shut up.
But still, I encourage, as a Christian boy, or a Christian man now, I'm 18. Yeah. I still encourage you to be nice. You treat others how you want to be treated.
Exactly. It's all about it's respecting others. Even if you don't agree with their lifestyle, you still respect people and you show them the love of God, because that's what compels men to come to Him. Is that you're a believer, but you're different, and you actually show love to people, and you were there when I needed someone to talk to that I needed a friend or a shoulder to talk to cry on and all that kind of stuff. So you know what, that's the most important part. But anyway, so this is a component of my life. I think that everybody say that, oh my gosh, people get on my page and they just crack me up. They say, oh, you're so consumed with the gay stuff. Look, the fact of the matter is, God has given me this testimony. That is part and parcel of the person that you see now, but it's not all of me, because that was just a part of my life. But God has given me a story to tell, and because this story encourages families, individuals around the world, and I've seen emails from places from Africa, and just like, wow, so you are making an impact, but this is not about me. So that's why I don't mind telling the story, and giving some people hope that someone can be changed, someone can be delivered from homosexuality. That is just really a mindset, and you grow up to believe based on the circumstances that you live, that you've experienced, and then all kinds of things. So, so So that's why I do this. It has nothing to do with, somebody wants to go, I want to go back into the gay lifestyle because I talk about, that's a blank lie. If I cuss, well,
You are saved,
well, so,
aren't you?
well, if I was a real cussing man, then I would say some other stuff. But yeah, so I do this to help encourage other people, and this is just showing a family dynamic, and that's what it is. So I ask him if you want to do this video, which, by the way, I didn't even ask you, did you want to do this? Did you want to be on YouTube now? Because this is
I plan on starting sometime, so we're gonna either have a channel and eventually.
No, we're not having a channel together.
Oh, yes, we are.
No, we're not doing.
Oh,
a channel
yes.
together. I can't.
Yes, you
Because
will.
you'll probably talk about video games
Nope.
and Walking Dead.
Nope.
And some
Nope.
darn Stewie Griffin. I can't.
You watched Family Guy
I
for
used to watch
4
Family
years.
Guy. Yeah, I had DVDs and everything, and I crushed them all.
We crushed them all.
Right.
And he made me pick up all the pieces in the
I
yard,
sure did.
which was just awful. Could you imagine picking up so many CD just fragments everywhere after crushing them with a bat?
Well, he got so much joy out of crushing them, so I just had to let him go ahead and move on to the next level
I did.
of picking stuff up after you crush it. Anyway, all right, so there's the big yellow bus that's about to come down the street and make all this noise. All right, this is James and
Jonathan,
signing off from the I'm Free Project. Remember, Jesus Christ is Lord. Peace.
hold on a sec.
What?
I want to just say that when James first started dating my mother,
James?
yes,
Oh, now
they,
James on
they need
video?
to know who you are.
They know who I am. I just gave my name.
Well, I'm still gonna
Sucker.
let them know.
Anyway,
He
Go
dated
ahead.
my mom, and when he first came to me about his past, I didn't really take it all that hard because what he did was
can you hear him?
Yes,
There's a big
can
bus
you
that's
hear
going
me?
by.
But he established a relationship with me first, which really set grounds and roots for what
Roots.
this yes, roots for what this has become today, like a really positive relationship. So
Well, he gets on my nerves sometimes. Trust me, I have wanted to throw him out the house a couple of times. And I've told him to go take a good walk because you and I are about to get into a fight. But I think that happens with every father and son. As the son gets
teenager.
older, the son tries to buck up a little bit. Which, by the way, you should watch that episode of Blackish when Dre and Junior were playing basketball.
they had a prank war.
Well, yeah, but still, what's his name? Dre was always doing wrong stuff to Junior. But at that time, Junior was sort of coming into his own, so he started bucking up a little bit against Dre. So, but yeah, that episode is funny. If you go watch it, it had me cracking up. And that's one of our favorite shows. And we've actually had quite a few shows over the years that we would watch together. What was it?
First show was regular show.
Yeah, regular show.
When I was a kid.
And then Bob's Burgers.
Bob's
We've
Burgers.
done that. Family Guy, a little bit of
We
Family
did a little bit. We did clips
but
here.
because
we did a
because it's
little
just
bit.
too much
Also, like
sometimes.
a little
Yeah.
segment of King of the Hill.
Oh yeah, King of the Hill was one of our shows.
What
now
else?
it's Blackish. Well, we used to watch what's the name a lot as a family. The Cosby Show.
Oh yeah.
Cosby Show. I had to introduce him to. I know my parents love me.
A different
Damn,
world.
there we go, a different world. Thank you, young man. So I had to introduce him to that, and I wanted him to see that, really to see the black college life on television, and that's one of the things that inspired me to go to a black school, because these suburban black kids nowadays, they just have no clue and no idea, light skin, everything's, so they don't have any idea what it's like, so. Being on an all-black campus, but no, just kidding. I like to tease them about that stuff. But like I always told him, I said, you know what? Don't be bringing no Becky up in here. But no, long as Becky is saved and sanctified and filled with the Holy Spirit,
As
I
long
don't
as she's
care.
saved, that's important.
No,
that's
sanctified and filled with the Holy Spirit, not just saved. Because a whole bunch of people claim to be saved.
Joel
but they're not.
Osteen. I don't care who you are. I don't. You're a fraud. You're nothing like your
I can't
father.
believe you saying this on my video.
I don't care.
That's not right.
It's wrong.
That's not right.
Also, 12 Stone on Hamilton Mill,
Who?
we got a problem. 12 Stone?
Stop! They're right up the street. Don't say
I
that.
don't care.
Don't say that. They're right up the street. I met somebody from that church, and they've been
Now,
rather
on
nice.
a real
They're
note,
just
y'all
that
do have
person.
some good stuff going on over there. Like
Right,
at
how
12
you gonna
Stone.
call them out?
Because when I went there Sunday, I immediately came back to our church.
Anyway,
Still.
all right, we gotta sign out. We're going on 25 minutes. I don't nobody want to sit here and watch us for 25 minutes. We got to be a little bit more entertaining than this. And my demographics do not coincide with 18 to 24 year olds. My demographic my demographic when I check my
Is Rico?
is between 24 and 36. I think that's the middle age of my, because it's you young kids, y'all don't like older folks like me.
Okay.
Y'all just
Our generation doesn't want to hear what you guys have to say, to be
You
honest.
say what?
Our generation doesn't want to hear what you
No, y'all don't want to hear what we have to say
And no
because we have
offense,
something
because
to-
we want to, we
Y'all wanna
purposely
cut up.
just want
y'all
to just
want
be
to cut
stupid.
up. That's all. Exactly. Y'all want to be cut up, act crazy, and be stupid.
I'm speaking on behalf of my generation.
Right,
I'm not saying I
millennials.
do this, but I sometimes do. I sometimes have to be stupid just in order to get the lesson.
Well, I know, and so that's what I'm saying. So my demographic is people around my age, in the 30s and on up. And like I said, this is for parents. This has nothing. This is not for 18-year-olds. But maybe it might be an 18-year-old whose father or mother who have come out of that lifestyle or whatever, and they don't know how to handle it and deal with it. Who knows? Maybe this will generate conversation, stimulate conversation between those two as well. Who knows? Yeah. All right, y'all. But anyway, we are truly going to sign off today. Don't say anything else. And those are my dogs barking in the background because they see another dog that's walking through the neighborhood. So they don't know what else to do other than make noise, background noise on my video. All right, so we are signing off.